You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
Two of the stars of Fast and Furious.
Tyrese and Luda.
What the hell is going on, man?
What's happening?
Guys?
I'm good, man. It feels good to be back in the damn Breakfast Club.
Oh, thank
I
you.
thought about you a lot this week, Luda, for a couple of reasons. I mean, you keep seeing Fast and Furious everywhere, but
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly in the news.
Oh, yeah.
Pepsi in the news.
Absolutely.
And
Isn't
Bill-
that ironic?
That's ironic. And Bill O'Reilly once told Pepsi to drop you because you were a rapper that degrades women.
Yeah, man.
The irony of that.
The irony of it is crazy. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. The last time I was on The Breakfast Club, I specifically told you guys that I had a man-to-man talk with him, you know what I mean?
Right.
And ran up on him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And the crazy thing is, it's not my place to judge Bill O'Reilly the same way that he judged me. That's how I feel about it. Like, it's a lot of maturity and a lot of growth. I've moved on past it. I'm thriving in life right now.
Absolutely.
And all I can do is hope that Bill O'Reilly, settles these issues and learns from whatever mistakes he may have made
Yeah.
and also thrives. But it is definitely ironic that both Pepsi and Bill O'Reilly are under fire right now.
Absolutely.
That's crazy to
I'm
me.
just wondering when the world is going to realize that coming after Bill O'Reilly is one thing, or anybody that's saying something super racist or just crazy. All you got to do is attack the sponsorship of these. When you come after the corporations that
But they
continue to...
bamboozled it a little bit because what they did was they pulled the commercials from his show.
Right.
Moved them to other Fox
But
shows.
the network is still getting the bread.
Right.
So what I'm saying
It
is,
just sounds good.
instead of attacking that man only from
Right.
what, or the woman, whoever that's saying certain things, the way you hit their pockets is the way you hit the sponsors that
Absolutely.
are sponsoring the radio station, sponsoring the network. When you come after them, then they pull all of their sponsorship dollars because you're threatening to not support their business that
Right.
continues to support the bigotry.
Got you.
There
And
you
then
go.
that's when things change.
And all that overly criticizing and just condemning all like rap artists and rap music from misogyny, and just look what's going on.
Now, Tyrese, why you didn't take a Pepsi to black women, man?
So, real quick.
Here we go. Let's go, Charlamagne. Come on. I was sitting there quiet.
You should have took them a Pepsi when they jumped on you, man.
Wow.
No, black women didn't attack me, man.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
did.
did.
Man, I got attacked by everybody.
sure did.
I got attacked by everybody. All women.
They was going at you.
Because of
Hey,
your
man.
the comments about wearing weave and having plastic surgery. And then Kendrick came out with Humble, said, I ain't making no better. Just made it look like all L.A. guys don't like women with weaves and fake butts.
Right, well,
Oh,
listen,
man.
first of all, if you're going to jump out there and put something on your timeline, you got to have thick skin and be ready for whatever heat. That's why nobody tweets about politics, anything they feel and think, because you're going to catch heat. It's like you should have just promoted your movie and your album and shut up. But the truth of the matter is, I never came at women. What I did was I talked about a conversation that I had sat in on with a bunch of women ripping men alive. And then I walked away from that conversation and saying, I want y'all to know that we as men notice way more than you think we do. This is not even remotely directed at black women. If you go back to my caption, it's all there. But if you're going to, the words get twisted. If you're going to jump out there, they're going to cut and paste whatever they want.
Yeah.
I said, we as men notice way more than you think you do. There is no way that I'm supposed to believe that a leg that skinny leads up to an ass that goes all the way. The dimensions is wrong.
Right.
And so if you think I'm tearing you down or acting as if I got control of what you want to do with your body, that's whatever. I'm just letting you know, not only women, but men, we all notice. We notice more than you think we do about all that. And if you're going that far out of insecurities or thinking you need to do all that to appeal to a man, just don't go too far, because it gets into a level of buffoonery and it's just crazy.
Yeah,
Right?
but-
And so I never attack women with weaves. I've dated women that get assistance. Okay?
Yo.
Come on, man.
Look, the good thing about conversations like this is it gets everybody talking. We all learn something from it. And I applaud my brother for always wearing his heart on his sleeve, being outspoken, because he puts himself in a position where it sparks, conversation of people to talk about stuff. And I think what everybody's missing here is that, it's a sensitive issue, obviously.
It is,
and you see that going on. And a lot of people don't realize there's kind of a gender double standard going on, especially with the pressure that's put on women whether they're natural or whether they putting on makeup.
Right.
I think maybe what Kendrick and even my brother was trying to say is we appreciate you, without any makeup as well, or we appreciate you just being natural, because let's all keep it real. There's an undervalue of the natural minority or black woman in today's society. So with that being said, man, it's good to spark conversation, and I love when women continue to school us, because there's a lot of things as men that we don't understand.
You can learn from the pushback.
You got to learn from the pushback. We also
got to talk about the men who encourage all of the ratchet levels. When you're going up in there and you put $50,000 making it rain on that ass that goes all the way out there and then comes back like a boomerang. Yeah. Okay, when that's 50,000,
every woman in the strip club have to go get
every
ass
woman
next
would
week.
say, I gotta go get these same levels because she just got 50,000 off of that level.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Right.
But even just empowering the Instagram models. Having them hosting parties and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh my God!
But that's why we're saying there are still men that appreciate just natural women. That's all we trying to say.
And then at the end of the day, I think what was really touchy was when the realization said, and again, I'm not afraid of touchy topics. I would never alienate my own fan base. By the way, I'm not stupid. My mama's black. Most of my sisters wear hair, makeup, the whole shebang. My wife wear makeup and lashes. Come on, I was never chopping down a woman who does things that to accent their beauty.
And then you go out and then you go and get married, right? To a woman that's not black.
That's what they said. Because when she walked in the room, the first thing you said was, she looks black.
No, I'm just messing with her. At first they thought that your wife wasn't black, and they would drag you. Tyrese don't like black women. He really don't like black women.
No, listen, I was,
he likes black women. He likes black women.
First of all, for the record, and this may not matter to most. Love has no limits, no colors. I have never dated a white woman in my life. I've never been with a Latina woman. I've never been with an Asian woman. I have only
now, when you say been with, what do you like?
You had sex with a white woman.
Define been with.
Have you put your penis in a white woman's mouth, Tyrese?
First of all, I'm like, I didn't hear that. So listen, he's a life coach. So,
don't undervalue the.
Yeah, having fun and getting things out of your system. My personal preference, is black women. I may go super bright. I may go caramel complected. I may go. You know what's crazy? I don't even mean to bring this up just because I never officially dated her, so I don't want to even put that out there.
Really?
But I was hanging out for a nice minute with V. Bozeman. Y'all seen her in my movie?
V, absolutely.
We hit the BET
Very
red
talented.
carpet with her.
Right.
Bro, they went crazy. Called her every name in the book. Attacked her. So I said, you know what? This is what's crazy. I believe. Like us as men, when we think about Janet Jackson and how most of us fantasize about her, Halle Berry, we think about all of these women that are like, whoa, the iconic beauty.
Right.
You just don't want to see anybody settle down that you fantasize of and you love.
Yeah.
Period. So it doesn't matter what you show up with, you're going to catch some kind of heat regardless. Absolutely. But for the record, about 8 months ago, my black ass was at the house, and I just came from the Bahamas, and they was telling me that the last name Gibson is a very popular Bahamian name.
Okay.
And so I started thinking, years ago, I was like, I want to do an ancestry test. And then me and my wife decided to do it. And I put up hashtag my black queen because I didn't want to be another person that they pinged as being a black man that's been supported by black women their whole life, become a millionaire, become successful, then jump ship. And I was actually very proud to write my black queen because her test came back at 46% black. And I was like, yes! Anyway,
46%.
46. I'll take
46.
46. So she's mixed with other things, of course, and I'm proud of her multi-ethnic of it all. But when that 46 came in, I was like, it's not 4, it's not 20, 46. We good. So
what she identify as?
How accurate is that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, it's very accurate. You ain't never done it before?
Never done it.
You
I'm
should,
gonna have to do
man.
that.
You should.
I got one at the house. I just don't want. You got to spit in the tube. I ain't got time for all that.
I mean, Charlemagne used to be black, right? So he didn't identify with black.
Jabs.
So he got his ancestry test, and it said European. So he's like, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and do whatever I need to do that reflects my results.
So are you West Indian?
Are you West Indian?
No. Baby, what did they say I was? Mainly. I'm from the Congo.
Where's the Congo? Oh,
Congo.
Yeah, Central Africa. See, Shaka knows.
So you from the
It's
Congo.
crazy. I seen Shaka and I was like, damn, that's how Charlamagne used to look.
Shaka Zulu. Put the camera on Shaka Zulu. Shaka and Jeff in the house.
He just insulted you and you don't even know it.
Oh, he knows.
No, Shaka like, nigga, I know I used to look.
Well, yo, listen, this is what it boils down to, and I don't even want to talk about this long. And first of all, I'm not defensive. You never supposed to tweet, Instagram, or put anything out there. Politics, the issues around transgender and homosexuality. If you're not willing to have a real conversation and deal with the heat that could potentially come, shut up. Anybody who knows me know I don't run away from hard topics. I don't run away from controversy. I done wrote books about relationships, life and love, all the above.
That's what I
At
said,
the end
man.
of the day, what I realized from putting up that post is that we are the first to attack each other, period. So if I offended women from making them think or believe that I don't see the value in you because you may have hair, makeup, and this and that, my words were twisted. That's the last thing I'm doing. I was to alienate my own fan base and demographic, period.
See,
I
and
definitely didn't attack black
But you know,
women.
social
Far
media is
from
not
it.
the place for constructive conversation.
It's not,
It's just
but
they'd rather condemn you first.
Yeah, but he learned from it. And again, it's like you put things out there. Sometimes we think that we're saying something positive or, trying to say something good about women, but we have to be open-minded when they give us the responses back about how we can do it better.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what he learned from.
I think what I learned was my approach could have been different, but I
Right.
still feel the way I felt. Like we notice more than you think.
Or it's almost like you got to have that disclaimer nowadays and first say, in my opinion, because a lot of times they just feel like you're completely judging them.
Right.
Or, this is what you
Tearing
should
them
do
down,
or
right.
tearing them down. But as long as you put out there, this is how I feel. This is just my opinion. I think that's important, especially on social media. You got to put it out there like
The
that.
Fate of the Furious.
Yeah,
Comes out
man.
next week.
How many more are they doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, man. Y'all got
I mean, how many more episodes are y'all shooting in y'all Breakfast Club?
Right. So here's the thing. Y'all make it.
Bags.
Y'all continue to get the bags. You continue to get the advertisement. So the last one did 1.7 billion.
Yeah.
So Universal is like there's no time to stop at this point. But I've heard that we're supposed to go until 10.
How do y'all keep it fresh all the time? Like, because
Man, I would say it's a team
Fresh
effort.
directors.
Honestly, it's literally a thing where you have the writer. This time around we have F. Gary Gray. It's about Vin and everybody coming together to continue to try and outdo each and every one. But it's a team effort. You can never really just put it on one person. It's literally working for 2 years straight on how can we top the one that we just did, and that's what's important about just this entire franchise, and we seem to keep doing it, man.
my
and
wife hates it, and I'll tell you why.
My wife.
Why does she hate it?
Because every time it comes out, I get an itch to buy a new car, right? Around this, I just seen the commercial where y'all all walk in and there's all the Dodge, the Hellchar. I was like, babe, let's go to the dealership. She's like, no, you in that goddamn movie. It makes people want to buy
Right.
cars.
It makes people want to drive cars fast as hell too.
It makes
Yeah,
people with
that- it
money
makes
want to
you-
buy
Well,
cars.
look, this is what I would
We
say.
act like regular people just
It
watching
seem-
movies like, I want to buy a car.
It seems like
We
diversity.
got too many cars anyway.
Diversity or the lack of diversity is a brand new concept that everybody's focused on, which I'm proud of because corporate America would not be attacked on the level of Pepsi if they had more diversity in their boardroom, which Charlamagne gladly pointed out. They tried to interview me and follow you, and I was like, hell no, he killed it.
Thank you, sir.
But at the end of the day, I think, we have represented that diversity for over 15 years. Proudly, we have the most diverse cast. It's not a new thing, a new concept. Everybody is diversifying. Quick, get
Right.
on that train. We've been rocking this wave for 15 years. And so I think that is one of the most unspoken realities of why the franchise is so successful, because wherever you go in the world, there's probably somebody in the movie that looks like you, talk
Yeah.
like you, and from where you're from. And everyone loves cars. Everyone loves beautiful and handsome. Everyone loves the adrenaline and customization. So there's a lot of elements of this movie that speaks the universal language.
And by the way, if it wasn't for John Singleton, neither one of us would be sitting here. So
Absolutely.
he's the one who put us in Too Fast, Too Furious. We never, in a million years, could have imagined that we'd be sitting here talking to y'all about Part 8 at this point. But it is the
crazy.
gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Now, did
But
F. Gary-
John Singleton is also, a lot of people don't know this, but not only was it John's idea to make sure that me and Chris were friends in the movie, but they also, John is the reason why my character is always eating, and he's the reason why my character is funny.
Why is
Because
that?
My first movie was Baby Boy with John.
Right.
And the second one was Too Fast. And me and Taraji couldn't really get shit done while we was filming because we was cracking jokes all day. So he was like, in this one, I'm going to make sure the world knows how funny you are. And boy, am I glad he did that because there's so many deep voices and baby oil in this motherfucking movie. We are just so happy to just be funny. And we're happy to be funny and separate ourselves from like all of these other versions of being masculine in the movie.
And the crazy thing is, when we first started in Too Fast, Too Furious, I was the one that would always have a party in my trailer and literally invite all the extras over and just be going crazy, never sleep.
Club Luda.
They would invite me to set 2 hours before I actually had to, get on set because they thought I was the rapper, that was stereotypically always going to be late all the damn time. I would show up on time and I would just have a party. Now I done kind of calmed down a little bit. This is the guy that's causing all the trouble on set. This the party guy over here.
Hey, man.
100%.
You married too.
Kumbaya.
Man, this man throw barbecues at his damn trailer every day.
Does your wife know about this, Tyrese?
My
Oh,
first
yeah.
lady is right there.
She knows.
My wife didn't know it, but I put it to the test, man. I put my wife in every environment
Magic City
that I move in, and she just acclimated and adjusted right along the way. Because the worst thing you can do is get married and not be able to be who you are.
That's real. First time I met Tyrese was in the strip club.
Yeah, shut up, man. I'm not even a big.
First time I ever met him in my life.
Wait, hold on.
Hold
Hold on.
Arizona.
You know what? This is true. I was about to say,
You didn't quite remember that.
this is
Arizona.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Arizona working on Black Rose.
Yeah.
I rented
Yeah.
that house.
One of the best
And then
strip clubs.
The first and only night I actually went out.
Oh, the
his
only
black
night he went
ass.
out, he was there.
That was the only night I went out.
I was out of town.
Oh.
I was.
It used to be some dope strip clubs in South Carolina, by the way.
yeah.
I'm talking
I never
about,
go to strip
man,
clubs,
one of the
right?
best strip clubs I ever went to was in South Carolina,
What,
randomly.
Columbia or
Dude,
Charleston?
listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Shaka is my witness. I literally fell asleep in the car when one of the Def Jam people was taking me to the strip club, and I woke up, and it was just like, I have no idea. I don't even remember what
in Columbia.
that might have been what it was, but it was amazing.
Well, the problem
amazing
the
talent
reason
in that
I don't
thing.
go to strip clubs because I'm cheap as hell. Just keep it real. So what I do is,
Not anymore.
If I've made it rain, I had to recycle the rain. You know what I'm saying? So I'll throw that up, and then as it hits the floor and I ain't looking, I grab my foot and I start swooping up my
Charlamagne
money.
does that too. That's where you
And
got
I
that
do
from?
I recycle the rain. So I am a recycled rainmaker.
But Tyrese is a nice guy, though, because he invited a bunch of strippers back to the crib after the strip club.
What?
Yeah, so it was
Charlamagne
fun.
is
Ah,
full of
fun.
shit.
That sounds,
Like, we
that
all
sounds
went
like
back to
it.
the house.
I
You know
swear
what
to
I'm
God, he
saying?
is just making shit up along the way. This is
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, man.
What about no Charlamagne? See, these niggas like this be trying to cause divorces.
You can take it.
It's like we're supposed to get in the car right now. I'm supposed to get that look. So what was all that shit about? Nah, nigga, we good over here.
You invited to
We
where?
good over here.
Yeah.
What was the craziest moment
What
on
he
set?
don't know is I got his wife's number, so I'm gonna call her and tell her some shit. I can contribute to a peaceful marriage, and I can fuck a marriage up.
Well, you on my side. You on my side, Brother Reeves. I don't know about him. What was the craziest moment on set? Anything crazy that happened?
Craziest moment on set. It was a bunch of crazy moments, man. To try and pick one of them, that's hard. Probably him being in Iceland, because this is the messed up thing. He was the only actual person that had to go to Iceland, and he hates the cold.
Fucked up.
So I mean,
Why they sent you to Iceland?
this is it's an action sequence where he's the only one that's pretty much outside of the car the entire time, and they couldn't shoot that on a green screen. So he actually had to go to Iceland and freeze his
I
ass
think the
up.
universe just wanted to punish me of some sort, because I use heaters even in the summer. I hate the cold. Like everyone who knows me know it's real
Right.
for me. So going to Iceland, 30 below zero. I got respect for the people of Greenland and Iceland, but I just really don't understand how any human being
Can live there.
want to go there and live there and consider that home. It was crazy. We shot on a frozen lake. It was about 30, 40 cars on the ice at one time. They told us that the ice was like 40, feet down, frozen, but none of that shit made me comfortable. And so I don't know how I got through it, but I did.
How many days?
I was there for 4 days.
4 days. That was long enough.
It was that serious. I mean, it's the most polar opposite of a nigga like me from Watts.
Yeah.
To
But I
drop
mean-
my black ass in Iceland. It was
Right.
like the complete polar opposite of everything that I am and where I'm from.
Right.
Now, how difficult was it filming this one without Paul Walker?
Extremely difficult, man. Extremely difficult because obviously the last one, this was the first one we came there, and there was an emptiness obviously on set, and we all came together to pray before we even shot the first scene.
Yeah.
And, you know, we always say the last one was for Paul and this one is from Paul, you know, because he's done many interviews and he did interviews on the last one saying that there was going to be an 8. And we were very, you know, that's why it's been so much going on with this movie and so much talk about behind the scenes because everyone was there to make the best film possible. And yes, you know, it did cause some tension at times, but I think the overall goal was for just literally to try and make the best film possible. And when you have so many different people trying to keep the integrity of their characters and the cohesiveness of the cast and, you know, intertwine it in the storyline and everything, it just becomes so passionate. And with that passion, sometimes can come a little controversy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, you know, one thing that should be clear is that we don't miss Paul because he's not in the movie. We miss Paul because he's our brother.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, wow, we don't get to work with him again. No, we don't get to see him, call him, talk to him, play dates with the kids. Like, we don't get to do nothing because when you lose somebody you love, then that's just what it is. So obviously we all discovered each other and connected via Fast, but we all have relationships independent of, like Luda just
Her birthday
just showed
was
up to my
one day
damn
away.
house a couple of weeks ago on a bike.
On a bicycle, man. That's cause it's what I do. I do crazy stuff like that. Nah, but he
Like a 10-speed?
He was on a mountain bike.
Mountain
yeah,
bike.
a little mountain bike.
Had
But
a
you know,
ninja mask on, everything. It was that's it. It was like Reese is me.
he bought a crib that's not too far away from a condo that I own in Atlanta. So hey, of course, man. You know the traffic in Atlanta is kind of ignorant these days. I know you hear about this highway that's shut down.
Right.
So of course I'm gonna ride my bike. Ain't nobody trying to be in a car
the
right
point
now.
is, we family independent of action and cut.
How long do y'all shoot? How long do they usually shoot the movie?
With these movies, I'd say about 6 months on average.
So y'all on top of each other all day long, pretty much.
I wouldn't say that.
But
Pause.
But no, yeah,
Pause
I understand
on,
what you
pause on
mean.
a bullhorn.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. The good thing is the last 3 movies have been shot in Atlanta, Georgia for the most part.
so
So
perfect for you.
I show up to the crib in robe and slippers. So I'm good in the game.
Now, the FBI
Yeah.
Great turned it into a hood flick? It's like straight out of Compton with Collins?
Did he turn it into a hood flick? Nah, man. He was under a hell of a lot of
Gary
pressure.
Gray is the humble genius.
He is, man. He did a great job. But
He's amazing.
when you have 20 different people calling you and telling you different things about what needs to be cut and what else you need to shoot, and I mean, he had to take a long vacation after
that
finish
was a
shooting
lot.
this movie.
But you know
It's
what?
a hell of a lot.
Honestly, though, Gary had a cheat sheet, right? The cheat sheet, unlike other directors like a James Wan or a Justin Lin,
He worked with everybody.
he had worked with most of us before he stepped in to do Part 8. He
Which is-
already did Be Cool
Right.
with Dwayne Johnson. He did Italian Job with Jason Statham. He worked with Charlize before. So he had worked with a lot of us before.
He had did my Pepsi commercial that never saw the light of day
Because of Bill O'Reilly.
because of Bill O'Reilly. F. Gary shot that
Wow.
barbecue scene.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Now, music, I see you recently put out a single.
Vitamin D for all the
Vitamin
ladies
D.
out
Yeah.
there.
Something
Yes.
about that record, man. It's very disrespectful that you didn't let Cisco be on that record.
Hey man, you know there's always.
Sample tongue song.
Hey man,
Put Ty Dolla $ign on.
listen man. Cisco gave his blessing.
He did.
He
gave
said
his blessing. I seen
he
that.
gave his blessing. He loves it.
You did?
Yeah, man. And
Blessing.
How the hell y'all know what Cisco said? What he said to that?
he put it on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And he did an interview and he talked about how much he loved it. So man, I had to get clear a lot of different names to get that.
Did you even think about putting Cisco on the record, Luda? Or was
I mean,
it never
there-
a thought?
You know what? Now that Charlamagne has brought it up, maybe there's a remix that it can be involved, and we have to
Yeah,
put
take it
Cisco
up
on
a
that
level.
thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Maybe that has to
sometimes
happen.
it's good to do the most obvious thing.
Yeah,
I
but
think Cisco still got it.
man, he
Cisco
out there
do
jamming.
got
Still
it.
performing and stuff.
I
Yeah, he
love
out there
Cisco.
killing it, man.
As an R&B real pedigree
Yeah.
dude out here, he's definitely one of the ones.
Now, you independent?
100%.
Independent or
I put this single out independent. I'm a free agent
you're a free
at this
agent?
moment.
Do you
Yeah.
want to go
Okay.
back to a major or do you like the independent?
Man, listen, I started out independent. You know, I'm just going back to my roots and doing what I did. That Incognito album that, you know, halfway turned into Back for the First Time is the way I did it the same way. So, you know, this is not unfamiliar territory for me. I'm just kind of testing the waters out.
Do you even
But,
have
you know,
to?
holla at us. I don't have to,
Yeah.
but, you know, it is a certain kind of freedom that comes with it.
Oh,
and
man,
it's a
trust
beautiful
me.
thing, man.
I've
So,
done 3 independents. I
oh,
did
yeah.
Open Invitation, the TGT album. We did it in conjunction with Atlantic, and then my Black Rose, all independent. I'm going to tell you what happens, and this is uncomfortable. A lot of times these executives are trying to survive in 2017 with a 1989 tech.
Absolutely. And there's the answer
That's
right there.
one.
Yeah.
A lot of these executives that's got all these high titles, they basically became prostitutes of the industry. They go from one label to the next, to the next, to the next. They kill a bunch of artists' careers. They're savages. They got opinions about what they should be wearing, doing, dressing in their music videos, the song direction of their albums. They kill a bunch of careers, and then they get hired at another record label because of the records that they sold in '89. So the fact that we are now independent, his video looks exactly the way he wants it to look. His song that he's releasing, when he wants to release it, is all of these things that you're able to do. And then let's go even further. What's really fucked up is if you decide to not listen or be or dress or wear or release a song or an album when they want you to, they can decide to not budget
Oh my
your
gosh,
ideas.
man. Everything he's saying is crazy because it's like when you sign to a major label, it's too many middlemen. It's too many people that have to call you to tell you why or why not something can or can't happen. You do it independent, man. It's like you at the press of a button. This is going like this.
Period.
I want it to go like this. I want this to be released right now. Vitamin D is everywhere. You know what I mean? Video out now. I'm doing everything the way I want to do it. And
Getting
obviously
way more traction than he did when he was in the system.
Absolutely.
Because you're also releasing singles in a system. There's egos, there's politics. You don't want one artist as a president of a label to call you and say, why does it seem like you pumping way more money into Luda over my shit?
Oh, yeah.
Right? But when you're independent, you can just rock it because at the end of the day, this is where I made the decision. I only got one Tyrese. This is all I got. I can have 40 other people on the roster. I wish y'all the best of success. I got one me.
Right.
And there's a lot of behind,
I put my career and allow for my career to be compromised because you're deciding to not make the one Tyrese a priority over everything else in your roster, I'm fucked.
Now we see.
But y'all different though, because y'all got money. So y'all ain't the typical independent artist.
Well,
Hey, listen, what did I do?
That's true, too.
How did I get money when I first started with Incognito? I saved up from doing this, you know what I'm saying, going to clubs, getting little money here and there. I saved up for years in order to pay for it. So I don't necessarily feel like it's just about having money.
Nah,
it
it's
just depends on
definitely
where
not.
you place your priorities and the sacrifices that you make in life.
Yeah.
And it's like you put everything on the table. I mean, there are no excuses from there. You can't blame somebody else on whether something did or did not succeed.
Well, first
and that's
of
what I
all,
love about being
every
independent.
rapper I know, and even most singers, they got their R&B and hip hop starter kit on. All right, they got all the chains,
Starter kits.
diamond earrings, watches, you name it. And so, just like you putting your money into your hip hop starter kit, you could have put that same
Absolutely.
80 grand that you
Oh
put
my
on
gosh,
that
man.
Patek
Absolutely.
Philippe. That
Man,
80
are you
grand
kidding
put
me?
on that could have went into getting behind your single if you was independent. So
Right,
it ain't a matter of paper. It's a matter of focus. It's
Hocus
about,
pocus.
Hocus pocus. It's about a focus.
Yeah.
It's about you really being clear. Now, here's the thing. I also want to say this. While everybody's excited about owning your masters and being independent, this and that, most of y'all don't know what the fuck y'all doing. So trying to be independent is actually not for you. Some of y'all need to have somebody guiding your career and creating boundaries and allowing for you to move and operate within the understanding of how to be successful.
Yeah.
You can't be successful from just being a rapper or just being a singer or saying I'm fly, handsome, got a lot of followers. That shit is old.
Experience
You
is
gotta
the best
actually
teacher,
know what
though.
you're doing.
Experience is the best teacher. I mean, if you just put yourself out there like that, I mean, of course you got to have some knowledge. I remember a book called All You Need to Know About the Music Industry. I'm sure y'all remember that. That's the only reason I was successful as an independent artist, because I did so much research and so much background information about what everyone's job is. And when you understand what everybody's job is, from the manager to the product, salesperson, to the marketing person, to the person that works the records, then it's like at least you have an understanding, and that knowledge is power. We all know that, especially in the music game.
Here's some knowledge that I want to drop on folks.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Proudly, my label is called Voltron Records. Anything that has to do with radio, promo, marketing, video promo, any and every division, I got the best hands in the game doing it under my leadership and guidance. That's why we've been successful. And so in the industry, when you do a deal, when you go to a major, they do these 360 deals.
Right.
But what I should have did was a reverse 360 deal, because you got all these people running up into Capitol acting as if they're going to be successful with their albums and singles that they released because of the success that I had through my independent. I should have did a reverse 360 and saying all of the success that me and my team was able to create in conjunction with them, made all of these artists leave their labels and come running up into the building. They getting deals, and I ain't getting shit from it.
Yeah,
Right.
I ain't getting nothing.
So you made them look better than they actually are.
And then they going up in there like, we want that Tyrese package.
Right.
We want the success that he had.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit, let me get some of that.
And
let me get some of those artists and those folks running up into that building.
And
That's what should happen.
And just to take it back to what I was saying, because I know it's a lot of artists wondering how much money does it take to do that. When I first got started, obviously the game has changed a little bit, but I saved up a good $20,000, but this was over a 5-year period. So turning $20,000 into, eventually $20 million, it can happen. It's just about where you place your priorities, like I said, and the sacrifices.
Have you heard Black Ty's album yet?
I heard some of it.
What you think?
It's jamming, man. I feel like
Yeah,
I told. No. Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. We just
so real with me, it's got uncomfortable in the past.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. And listen, man. So what we eating?
Nah. Listen, man. I'm not one of those yes men. I tell them straight up. And the records that I've heard this go round is I feel like one of the things he could have done better on the last album is had more melodies, because obviously he has his fans that want to hear him sing.
Right.
So with these new records, I just hear more melodies along with him rapping. So it's almost like he's satisfying both sides. And we literally had this conversation like a couple of days ago.
He played his
Came to his
Vitamin
crib
D at the house, and then I let him hear all the stuff I was working on. We had a moment.
Yeah, man.
Chris has always kept it real with me. So
Now TGT, I seen Tank put on April 1st, April Fool's Day, that they were releasing some music.
Whoa, I didn't know
I
that.
came back and said, nah. So is there gonna be another TGT album? Or is that a wrap?
I mean, listen, man. Genuine still wants an equal split.
Light skin, give light skin an equal split, man.
Look, you talk about keeping it real. He keeping it real in here for you.
Give light skin an equal split, man.
How much you want to
Right.
give Genuine Tyrese? Man?
Listen, Tank.
Let's settle this right here and right now.
I know it needs to
Let's
happen.
get it. Let's get it
I
done.
want to make this short and sweet. At the end of the day, I feel like we're all brothers, we all family, and all the above. But at the end of the day, man, if Chris, as an example, is getting $200,000 a show, and I'm getting $30,000 a show, I think my motivation to split equal with Chris would be pretty obvious. Because if I'm able to split with Chris, then I'm getting way more at the end of the day per show.
Right.
So it's not like at the end of the day, a lot of us can get caught up in ego and how these it all feels. All of these conversations about the reality of business is uncomfortable, but it's business outside of brotherhood and family. You my dude. I was at your
But
wedding.
light skin got the biggest record though.
Whatever, man.
Hey, you gonna be shocked. You gonna be shocked when Genuine get a role in the next Fast and Furious.
And this check, he gonna get that
Playing field
check.
gonna be even then.
No, but listen, for the fans, for the record, I believe we are going to be able to figure something out because we actually at this point, we want to do something for the culture.
Right.
We want to do
Definitely.
something for the culture because we got enough dudes that are grown with full beards out here releasing songs and hip-hop music, even trying to appeal to a younger demographic. I feel like right now, I will sing this till the cows come home. You got a deep-ass voice, be grown.
Gotcha.
Stop trying to
talking about,
appeal to
Tyrese?
these young folks, man. Be grown.
I'm trying to think who you talking about. Who's got a beard singing?
Huh?
Who's got a what?
You said a beard.
I said a beard.
That's
Like,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to
Beard,
talk
beard.
about
Who got a beard
whatever
singing?
your facial hairs are, whether you married, got a wife, girl, like be grown. Like sing about shit that's according to where you at with it. Stop trying to appeal to these youngsters out here. If I go to a concert, I'm 38, proudly. I'm so proud to be grown. If I go to a concert and I see some 15-year-olds out there with this, I'll be uncomfortable. I don't want y'all niggas dancing. I don't want to see your shoulders moving. I don't want you dabbing, nigga. I don't need none of that shit in my audience.
That's how I
I'm
feel when I
grown, nigga.
perform.
I want to see grown ass women in my audience, and I like it.
When I perform "What's Your Fantasy," I don't want to hear grown men talking about "I wanna lick." That's not cool. Like it's okay. It's okay for y'all to take a break on this particular song. The craziest thing in the world, but. It's funny when you talk about audiences, bro. It's funny as hell when you talk about the audiences, man. I literally just did a show last night at Middle Tennessee State University. Got a show tonight at Penn State. And it's crazy how I've been in the game for 17 years, man, and just humbly speaking how literally I'm still doing shows for an audience that may be just as old as my first record. So it's a blessing, and it's like I see the same thing with my brother Ty. It's like I'm just blessed and just want to thank all the fans for being able to bridge that generation gap where you can have people come to shows that's, you know what I'm saying, in their 30s, 20s and even teens. And it's a beautiful thing, man.
When I say beards, I mean like I'm talking to everybody that's around my age. Like there's a real pedigree of R&B singers that came out around the time, from Usher to G to Tank. Like all of us came out around then. And it's like trying to appeal to these youngsters. Like let the youngsters appeal to the youngsters. Let's just tap into our.
Do you ever call R. Kelly and tell him that, like, man, stop dressing like a goddamn 15-year-old? Do you ever tell him that?
You say that right after appealing to youngsters. You're wrong for that, bro. Man, Charlamagne be on. Look, you on one.
Yeah, listen.
Come on, man.
Like, okay,
dirty. That's dirty.
I want to ask Tyrese, because when Mary J was here, Mary J said you helped her get through.
Oh yeah, we have audio. We play the audio, but she said you actually helped her
get through the difficult time she's going through.
Yeah,
wow.
I had a real conversation with her. I got a text message from Ken Du, right, her ex-husband now, and he's like, "Yo, we doing barbecue at the crib." It was either Labor Day or Memorial. Came to the crib.
Oh, I remember that.
And I ended up being the last person to leave the crib. I had a real conversation with her. Mm-hmm. I said, "Mary, there's a void. There's other singers releasing whatever they're releasing, but you got so much conviction on your voice. Women are looking for a reason to get out of a mentally, emotionally, physically abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. When you put your voice on it, you become like their therapist. You're showing up in their cars,
absolutely,
their homes.
Right.
You're in their marriages. You're giving them permission to leave bad situations. You're also inspiring them to love better and do better. Jill Scott's got that effect, Anita Baker, you name it. There are certain women that have that conviction on their voice. And I said, you represent the strength of a woman. That's how I feel. And so that conversation led to her recording a lot of her album in my backyard.
Yeah. And it's great to be, sometimes she needs to be reminded of that, because that's the basis of Mary J. Blige's entire career.
I appreciate London Sessions. I appreciate all the pop stuff she was doing, because it's nothing like you're taking advantage of your different fan bases and all that. But, let's not get away from the core. The core is you got to feed the beast of the core.
That's soul. That's
and that's it. We need Mary J. Blige with the message, the stuff. Like, a lot of us don't look forward to these albums as men, especially if you're on some bullshit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's what it is. So that was the conversation. And proudly, producers and writers, I unleashed all of my resources to try and help in any way I can. And, bro, I'm so proud of the success of this album, because it's a reminder that not only did she understand it, but she ended up actually moving on it. Yeah. And it's popping.
So when she started recording with you, she was married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now she's not. So you dead serious about you can either help her situation or hurt her situation? Dead serious.
Damn.
I'm glad I was on the helping side.
First of all, I have nothing to do with that man and that woman and what they decided to do. So I ain't got nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, I had a conversation with her, and I said, Mary, can you please get back to the Mary J. Blige that I know?
There you go.
That's it. Just like me, I would never want to hear Jay-Z rap on top of a house and techno beat.
No way. No
you
way.
Know what I'm saying? That's it.
Got to take care of your core.
There is no bigger Ludacris fan than me. Right. I want to hear Luda get back to them bars and get back to all the things that I know him from.
Vitamin D is like a 2017 What's Your Fantasy. So for all the hardcore Ludacris fans, that's going back to the core. So that's what we doing.
Okay. I feel like, again, to all of the artists, I've never claimed to be the biggest star. I never claimed to sell the most records and win the most awards. One thing that I know is I know how to be grown and tap into my actual core fan base. Shame, my song Shame had nothing to do with what was being played on R&B radio. It was #1 for 16 weeks because I'm grown and I like it.
It's important to embrace that, though, because if we don't show the next generation how to be grown, they're going to still want to be kids for
Oh, my gosh.
Listen, I think the youngsters should be twerking, turning up, and watching me nay-nay and doing all the shit they're doing. Because they have an audience and a if it's too grown, you're going to put the kids to sleep.
Right.
Okay? I'm grown. So if I don't look, take your ass to bed. If you 16 years old, you find out Tyrese is on his way to your city, stay home. I don't want you there.
Mama going out.
Huh?
Yeah,
Mama
yeah.
going out.
Definitely going out.
We grown.
They telling us to wrap up. I think we might have the longest
Oh,
Breakfast
my bad.
Club interview ever.
You're about 40 minutes from the longest.
Oh, okay, we're good. Oh,
Troy Ave took that crown the other day.
oh, all right then.
We
Well,
appreciate
thank
you
y'all.
guys for joining
Always,
us. The
man.
Fate of the Furious in theaters next Friday, April 14th. Go check it out.
And Envy's playing Vitamin D right after this segment.
Right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Tyrese and Luda.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in